Hey everyone, welcome to the fourth episode of Monday Morning Moonshots with Raghu. In this episode, we have Pankhuri, Pratik, myself Raghu, and Akshay and Charu with us. So let's start off with a small intro about ourselves, starting with Panku.
Hi everyone, I'm Pankhuri Bhandari. Probably the youngest to be here, and let's see how much I can contribute. But like, I come from a finance background, and but marketing and growing D2C businesses is something that truly excites me. So yeah, I'm excited for today.
Great, Pratik.
Hi guys, I'm Pratik Rokde and I'm pursuing Masters from Masters Union right now. And before that, I was working on my own startup and I am a tech enthusiast. I love discussing tech and I wish this session would really amaze us because I love brainstorming.
Sure. Hi everyone, my name is Raghu and I have around 2 years of experience working in an IoT based startup as a lead R&D and currently I am doing my PGP in technology and business management from Masters Union. Akshay.
Hi everyone, this is Akshay Kumar and I'm a graduate from IIT Dhanbad and I have 4 years of experience in business development in Adani Enterprise and currently I'm pursuing PGP at Masters Union.
Sure, Charu.
Hi everyone, my name is Charu Jain and I'm currently pursuing PGP in Technology and Business Management from Masters Union. Prior to that, I did BCom and also I'm a semi-qualified chartered accountant and I have a 4 years of work ex in roughly 4 years of work ex in finance, auditing and taxation. So me coming to Masters Union was my aspiration to learn more about technology. So I'm really excited about Moonshot today.
Great. So we have Pratik from a tech background, Charu from a finance background, Akshay from a business background, and Pankuri who's a fresher who's experiencing every possible thing that she can. Right?
True.
So let's start off with the Moonshots game. So Moonshots is a game of radical thing. Moonshot thinking is brainstorming radical solutions that can solve huge problems. Right. So we take huge problems and we take a particular technology, a breakthrough technology, and we brainstorm radical solutions that can solve that particular problem statement. And in the end, we'll be discussing a business model that can solve that particular problem. So let's start off right away. So okay. Okay. Right. What's the time? Before. Uh, so yeah, this is the Moonshots game where we have a huge problem that affects millions of people, and we have breakthrough technology which can be possible in the next 5 to 10 years, and we think of a radical solution that might not be possible today. Let's think of some science fiction solutions as much as possible. So let's skip the intro and skip right into the topic. So the problem that we have is unequal internet speeds. So let me yes. So unequal internet speed. There is a significant divide in internet speeds between the countries with the fastest internet and those with the slowest. Slow internet speeds prevent communities from accessing various services that could improve their education, livelihood, and health. So this is Sustainability Development Goal 9. And we have three technologies in front of us. One is machine learning, which is the development of computer programs that can access data and use it to learn for themselves. And then we have deep earth drilling, which is a technique for probing the earth's sediment crust and upper mantle. And then we have genome editing, which is a type of genetic engineering in which DNA is inserted, deleted, modified, or replaced in the genome of a living organism. Cool. Let's not focus on the technologies available first. Let's focus on the problem statement, right? So the major problem that is portrayed here is that there is a unequal internet speed between different countries, right? And majorly the problem that it is causing is that slow internet speeds prevent communities from accessing various services that could improve their education, livelihood, and health. So let's take an example of rural areas. Let's take India as an example, right? In rural areas, even they don't have a proper access to education content. There is so much of educational content available online in the internet, and still people in rural areas don't have access to it, right? So as a add-on point, X is already working on this problem through laser technology to power internet. But let's not focus on that. So we have three technologies here: machine learning, deep earth drilling, and genome editing. But what do you guys think of the problem? What are your thoughts about it?
I think it's one of the important issues that you have highlighted. I think I've traveled, across the whole country in different states, and what I found is the internet speed differs a lot from place to place.
Right.
And I think it definitely hampers, everyday livelihood development. And I faced certain scenarios where, internet speed in one area, didn't allow me to do much that I could do.
Right.
So I empathize with the people, who are not getting this kind of speed, like in literal sense,
Right.
because I've faced the issue. Second, I think machine learning sounds really good to me for this, but I'm not sure about how deep earth drilling or genome editing.
You never know, right? Let's say we drill deep into the earth and then we beam out. Right now, how is the internet connected, right? So they put a cable underneath the sea, and a fiber optic cable is present, and that's how internet is being transferred. So what if instead of having a cable underneath the sea, and instead you drill a hole and then you put your internet cables through that? Yeah, I know that's the kind of
But
crazy ideas that we have to discuss.
so why? Let's start from something. How was life before internet? Because I feel
Great
that
question.
is something that we need to think. Because if we are talking about internet right now, what have internet uh, got us to do? They have bring whole world in a
Communication
is something
the
that is
major thing that it has established.
so I feel right now, if you talk from internet perspective, we have got dependent on internet so much that somehow, if just imagine a situation, if right now uh, like we are using internet so much, if the speed of internet gets down,
You get so
somehow,
frustrated.
yeah, we get frustrated.
Think
to-
of Panku. Now I can just the first thing that comes into my head is Panku. She trying to create a video and then trying to upload it in Instagram, and then if it goes down, she'll just go mad.
And the first thing that's top of my head right now, if we talk from machine learning point of view as tech, I feel so. You guys might be aware about like how internet works in
Right.
general,
Yeah.
right? Any information travels through packets.
Yes.
Yeah, packets of data.
So what exactly we can solve through machine learning is that we can access that packets when they are moving. Why cannot we just try to look at the strength? If the strength of the network is going down, maybe because of some lag, or because of any XYZ reason, so we can access that data and try to focus on, like, there are many cases where there are two modems or two broadbands.
Right.
There's another is for backup, right?
Right.
So why don't we use it so efficiently that, for example, one is working right now with X packets moving in seconds.
Okay.
if my X is relatively slower than the Y modem connection, then the other one should get activated. So something where dual model, like hybrid, like nowadays we talk a lot.
Very
So why don't we have that kind of accessibility? Like we can think from that perspective where we can hedge on the internet. That's something that I'm trying to do right
Just
now.
Creating a backup option for your modem.
Yeah, so that can be derived from machine learning.
he is trying to
actually.
think how efficiently to use
Yeah,
it.
got it.
But again, what I feel is that we are going more into the solution space, right? Because if let's say even if we work on that, improving the efficiency, what I feel it can do is improve the speed here in our place. Instead of having 100 Mbps, maybe you can have access to 150 Mbps or 200 Mbps.
Okay.
But how can you get that internet connectivity into the rural areas?
I think I think there are many solutions to this.
Mhm.
First is optic fiber cables,
Right.
but it's a lengthy process. It will take time, and I think Jio is working on it in India for now,
Mhm.
and it can be done. But for very remote areas like rural area, hilly areas, I think satellite-based networks or Wi-Fi networks, which are not dependent on any kind of material.
Yeah, I think Starlink is a wonderful example of that, right?
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
trying to do exactly that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think for remote connections, that could be one of the major solutions. Second could be if we so there is a electricity grid everywhere right now,
Mhm.
even the remote areas is reaching. So can we mix these two things together, and wherever the electricity is reaching, and if we can do the same thing for the internet
Make
on the same lines.
maybe add one more kind of data line along with that, which will carry internet.
Yeah, because anyway they are doing all the excavation part.
Mhm.
So I think it can be done if it were to be done in a hard system.
Okay, that's an interesting point. You guys have any thoughts on this, Charu, Pankaj?
I don't know how you can solve by machine learning or genome editing. Deeper drilling, maybe, like he said,
Right.
you can, like, it can be a, I'm just thinking wild, but it can be a combined thing, electricity
Yeah,
and internet.
makes sense.
coming
I'm also on the
together.
same lines
Yeah.
as you.
But that said, unequal internet speed is a very big problem, which is hampering India's growth right now, definitely. And I feel, yeah, deeper drilling I can relate to, but I don't know much about machine learning and genome editing. So I'm listening to your thoughts and building upon that.
Sure.
I have an idea about machine learning, like how can we use, it immediately stuck to me when I, watch these cards.
Okay.
So I think we can use this to optimize the network. So basically we will be using machine learning to know what kind of strength each area is getting and how much is the, consumption, or how
Okay.
much is the, utilization rate in different areas. And then if machine learning tells us that you are over supplying to some areas and under supplying to other areas, I think if that can be done, I think
Sure.
the existing system itself can
But
be
that will be
useful
an
enough.
Enhancement to what is there, which is
I
existing.
understood that
Yes.
that would be
So-
an ancillary activity
Yeah.
to. I was under the impression that they are asking only machine learning through only. Is it not?
Not
the case?
necessarily.
Oh.
We can add things on top of it.
Okay,
but
so
my-
you can like combine.
Yeah, sure, sure. But my point is that we are trying to talk about places where there is no access to internet right now, let's say, or even when we talk about unequal internet access. For an example, let's say if we go to a hilly area sometimes, then in those places, how much ever optimization you do, there is just limited infrastructure available there, right?
So what I mean to say, there doesn't need to be too many solutions, but there can be a mix of both, because
Yes,
optimization definitely helps with the existing system,
Mhm.
and I think it's the fastest way, because anyway if you are going to use wireless networks, or if you are going to lay down the wires, you know it's expensive, plus it's going to take a lot of time, but we already have the existing system. And if through machine learning we come to find out we can reallocate the spectrum in a better manner, suppose if all the internet was handled by one organization, then they could fairly control the spectrum properly, like
Mhm.
how much it is being used in some areas and how is it not used in different areas.
Let's say it is being sorry, Pratik, to
No, no,
interrupt.
sorry.
Sorry, let's say if it is mostly used by area X and it is not used much by area Y, then how would you go about it? What would you do to solve it?
So we can reallocate the you know the network bandwidth, or we could you know allow the network strength to flow in the less
Yeah, but
supplied
that
area.
all comes into optimization.
It comes into optimization, but yeah, it is yet to be seen like how much efficiency is
Understood.
there in the
Right.
current network.
Right.
If it's too much, then maybe it could be just enough.
Mm-hmm.
We might not even need the new stuff to be created.
Got it.
But yeah, it totally depends on that, because
Yeah.
we are not sure about it
Sure.
right now.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like from my perspective.
Yeah.
So how are the waves traveled now? Waves are traveled through the towers,
Mm-hmm.
which are situated in particular geography.
Yes.
So there's a crazy idea that I think I got. It's like so if you look at the geography in general, there is always a city that is somehow attached in 150 kilometers at least in India.
Yes, typically.
Yeah, at least tier 2 or tier 3. So what I'm trying to say is if we try to increase the strength of these stars,
Mm-hmm.
somehow the accessibility with the similar kind of resource with same resources I'll be able to make more impact, but somehow it is obviously will be affecting n number of things, but
Yeah.
this is something that I'm just thinking
Yeah, sure.
that can
So, yeah,
help
that
our,
can help solve
or
the.
have a mini towers instead of like why not increase the connectivity in that way. And as building on to his point when he said that let's increase the like how to resource out things in villages. So anyways there is electricity that is traveled to wires.
Mhm.
So why not get us
Have
something?
mini towers as in.
Yeah, so why not fiber optic attached with it?
Yeah, why not
So
use
that
the same
resources,
towers?
yeah, so something that we can use it directly
Sure.
to empower these villages with tech.
Great point.
Because you want to be sustainable also.
But Raghu, I'm still curious about like how are we supposed to use genome editing for
So it is not necessary that all these technology would make sense because they have a pool of 100 problem statements and 100 technologies.
Okay.
So they just mix and match random things. So
Okay.
that's the whole point. It might not make sense all the
Okay.
time. Panku, if you have any point.
Oh, well, we've come far from the problem, which I could definitely give more inputs on. Technology is something that I'm not really aware of
Sure.
how it works. Though all of this discussion really helped me understand the basic of how it works. I believe commerce is basically the problem. Like remember 7-8 years back when the internet speeds were very slow throughout the country. Basically, that particular stage exists in probably those cities that still have less internet speeds.
Right.
And maybe people really haven't addressed this problem because there's like most of these places are sparsely populated, right? They don't have that much of a requirement. There are not many people. So I believe those mini towers that Pratik suggested would be, a way to, probably go about it.
Yeah,
Right.
I think I'm also in a similar point. I didn't think of mini towers, but mini towers now actually makes a lot of sense. So what I can think of is if we have some sort of deep earth drilling, right? And when we attach these fiber optic cables along with some sort of electricity in some way, and maybe some deep canals can be there, which can take this electricity and internet together, and we can have these small towers in areas near to a particular main place or something, and which can help improve the the internet speed in some way.
I just have one question. So, already there is a network of wires and everything which is there, right?
Right.
Underneath wherever we are walking.
Right.
So why deep earth drilling? Why would we want to harm the nature even more? Why not use those networks only?
So,
Like why? Sorry, why
Fair point, actually, yeah.
drill deeper? I mean, I'm not very huge fan of this thing. Also,
Okay.
we are just destroying whatever resources we have left.
Also, I was thinking on the same line about, we have to look at the sustainability of these things that we are discussing. Because if we, create, establish too many towers at every places, then we have to know like how does it impact the either the birds or even other organisms. So I think first there should be a study about it, like how much strength can we actually provide to you know a region.
agree on that point and agree on Charu's point. What I was thinking that, like she mentioned, why not just use the existing
Yeah,
processes to build?
electricity. Yeah.
So weird point, but we already have so much of drainage that is going on. So why don't we just use our drainage systems in such a
Yeah.
way that
But
Actually,
the problem is drainage system exists in places where there is infrastructure.
agreed?
In hilly places, for an example, you can't expect a drainage system to be present.
Agreed
it's
on that
even
point.
better. I
Definitely,
think
but it's
they will get a drainage system out of it. So what the harm?
I mean, I'm just curious, not wanting to sound stupid or something, but like, is there nothing possible like through the satellites or something like?
It's already being done. Elon Musk is doing that only exactly through something called Starlink, and Jeff Bezos is joining the same opportunity.
I think he provided support to Ukraine using Starlink.
Yes, Elon Musk
Is
did
that
that.
too expensive to be deployed?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is too
it
much
is.
expensive. So that's why he's deploying a lot of satellites throughout the Earth's orbits, and so that from anywhere those satellites will be accessible. So
Okay.
he's already trying to do that, but again, like you said, it's a lot expensive.
Also,
I really like the idea of the drainage system.
You don't?
I really like it.
Like-
Like it's cost effective, it's sustainable.
Yeah, and you are building infrastructure on the
I think
amazing.
I think in India we don't have the drainage system in some places, so
know that.
yeah, it might be difficult. Yeah, but yeah.
So let's try to take a particular.
I have a very weird thought.
Sure.
So if we use the drainage system and it floods, so will we get extra internet?
Yeah. Good start.
If the internet is being conducted through the water, then yes, sure. But
It will have more avenues to flow, na?
so we just have 10 minutes, so we'll try to take a particular technology. So what do you think is more relevant to this particular problem statement, whether it is machine learning or deeper drilling or genome editing?
I'm sorry, could someone explain me genome editing?
Genome editing is a type of genetic engineering in which DNA is inserted, deleted. So let's say you have a particular characteristic, right? That characteristic comes partially from your father and partially from your mother, right? So if I want to change your characteristic in a different way, I can play with the DNA and
No, like
mutate
in
it in
terms
some
of
way.
in terms of internet.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Oh, okay. I was trying to link it.
But yeah, I still think that in future it might be possible. Right now we may be thinking like how can it be
Actually,
possible?
a DNA has a lot of storage capacity.
Actually, yes,
Yeah.
but storage is different from
But it's
connectivity.
editing, so yeah. Okay.
I think we are yet to learn much about genome, and I think it's a really
So-
yeah.
When we talk about unequal internet speeds, there's one more thing that I wanted to think from a perspective that right now, if I see, like he mentioned, okay, like just building on things right now that is coming up. I'm just trying to summarize some good idea that I'm thinking right now. So what I'm planning is right now, as you mentioned, there's the towers. There's as he mentioned about demand and supply. And as I can see, if for example these and talking from our machine learning point of view,
Mhm.
okay, why not our towers can move according to where there's a need. So basically,
They tried that. Google X tried exactly that. They used an air balloon. They used an air balloon that will float continuously, which will provide internet access. But then they had to shut down that idea after some time because it was not feasible due to some problem. So that's how this project was born. From that only Project Tara was born. I think we should try to add something on top of it using machine learning. So they are already trying to solve this exact problem using laser as a solution. So they have laser towers that connect between different multiple places, which beam up, huge strength of laser beams, and through that they are trying to connect different places with internet
oh, lights also. Oh,
using photonics.
Oh, I was
So-
thinking of it, but I thought it will be too stupid to say.
No, there is nothing stupid while
It's
thinking
photons
of
or protons.
lasers.
I'm not even.
No,
Photons,
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 not
photons.
protons. That
I
is
guess
So
just-
fiber optic
optic
cable
is also like that, no?
Yes,
Yeah,
this
fiber
is
optic does the same thing only.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that is through specific cable, right?
Yes,
And that
it's through
happens
cable.
through
Yeah.
reflection of laser beams. This happens through high power laser beams that connect between multiple places.
I was thinking something along the lines like sun has
Wow.
photons
So-
and everything, so some artificial source of
That's
light.
why I called you,
or
Charu. You have to
satellite.
give more crazy ideas to us. Come on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
uh,
just some
craziness.
satellite or something that is giving artificial source.
Great. Anyway,
Photons.
so let's take up this particular technology that they are already trying to work upon, and they are trying to do the exact same thing in rural areas. They are trying to establish connectivity through laser beams. So how then I feel now we can try going more into the machine learning space. How can we optimize this for them to efficiently have higher internet speed throughout
So,
different places?
I just want to know when these stars are like established in particular geography,
Mhm.
how are these stars like how the connectivity strength and everything is mapped? I have a doubt like exactly because light if like travels or yeah laser it is, but still if it travels then also it tries to disperse after a point.
No, laser doesn't get disposed because it's a
But
high
it's still
power
very
frequency.
minute. Like,
Minute that can
that-
be using amplifiers.
Okay,
It
so
can,
are we moving to solution space or are we
yes.
just finding out the problem?
Okay, sure, we can.
So why when we're talking about like stars,
Mhm.
like how our Mr. Tesla guy,
Yeah.
Elon Musk started
Right.
with the satellite? Can we not do that way? I know there would be a dive like if we try to get these lasers
See,
outside the crust of.
These towers would be similar to your cell phone towers, right?
Mhm.
But the only thing is, instead of you connecting these cell phone towers through satellites, I think they will be using these laser beams to send the data. Let's have a small introduction about that so
Okay, yeah,
everyone
we
is
can.
on the same page, right? So, global internet traffic. Uh, just give me a minute. So yeah, planning and digging trenches to lay lines can be time consuming and costly, and tough terrain can pose physical challenges. There is this, okay, sorry. Mobile internet speeds between the countries with the fastest internet and those with the slow. There is a 7x difference in mobile internet speeds between countries with the fastest and slowest internet. I was during work on Project Loon. So this Project Loon is when they try to have these hot air balloons that will continuously be circling around the Earth, all over the Earth. So that will move using the wind speed automatically, and they just had some mechanism to go up and down so that it gets carried along with the wind current that is present.
But how will it try to sustain at a position where the net
It
is
will not. It doesn't stay in a fixed place. It just keeps moving. So there will be multiple balloons. Consider it's more like a satellite. So instead of satellite being in outside the orbit, this is inside the stratosphere and keeps moving throughout the Earth using the wind current. That is
But how do we maintain its
Yeah.
correct position?
in this case, it's not stationary. So think like these towers are there, right? Mobile towers are there, and you are continuously moving here and there. But depending on what your location is, there is it automatically connects to the nearest tower. Your phone automatically connects to the nearest tower. Right. So similarly, these hot air balloons will be traveling, and whichever balloon is closest to you, your mobile phone will directly connect to that particular tower. It will not be stationary.
It's like a radio taxi.
Yes, kind of.
But if I'm using like hot air balloon, why don't I use like quadcopter or something that is more viable and it can move? It can be moved also.
It needs electricity for it to move up and down. So this gets automatically carried away with the wind current that is present.
I think solar power solution could have been better, because I think if we are moving against the air current, then how do we do it?
So let's not focus on that. So that was Project Loop.
No, but
let's
still
keep that aside.
we need to think how to improve, not like
Yeah, but sure, but they had shut down that particular project.
Reason being,
it was not feasible. I think it was the cost that was associated. I'm not sure, but they had closed down the project in 2020, if I'm not wrong, just 2 years back. So yeah, so the Loon team needed to figure out a way to create a data link between balloons that were flying over 100 kilometers apart. So every 100 kilometers, these balloons were flying. Right, and the team investigated the use of wireless optical communication technology to establish high throughput links between balloons, like fiber, but without the cables. Wireless optical communication uses light to transmit high speed data. So only thing is, generally you have these fiber cables, right, that connect between places. Instead of having these fiber optic cables, they had these wireless laser towers which send data between multiple places to have the connectivity through internet. So yes, that is all about Project Tara. Let's come back. Right. So let's go ahead with machine learning. I think we are already out of the time that we were given.
Yes.
But chalo, we don't have any time constraints. We still can.
A very weird solution.
Sure.
So the problem is not just that wherever places where internet is not reaching at all. Problem is also unequal internet speed, right?
Right.
So there can be something like, I don't know if you've seen those portable solar lamps which people put in their gardens. Okay, it will charge throughout the day, and then you can just switch it on, and it will give you light at the night. Okay?
Yeah.
So something like those portable solar parts, something which can act as an amplifier. You don't need electricity. So generally this problem happens where in the remote areas, right? So it can act as an amplifier and then amplify the internet
But
connection.
you need some source, right? Some
So
source.
there must be
that
some
connects-
internet. I'm talking about places where internet connection is very low.
Okay. Let's think about that.
I also
Let's
got
just one sec. We'll finish off this three power-ups that we have, because after this this will get closed. So we have a funding of $1 million, which is an idea to a venture capital firm. They loved it and invested $1 million to get the idea up and running. And try thinking of the scale of a city. For an example, the scale of city like Tokyo, Berlin, or Mumbai. And new laws. A prominent policymaker has introduced a new law that, if passed, would make your ideas much easier to implement. So these are the three power-ups that we have that we can use to our advantage. So yeah, we have $1 million. So let's try to think from that scale.
Not
scale
sure
of a
about the
city.
city part.
Try to think of a city, a two-tier city, or
so
a
we
three-tier
can use
city.
all these three elements and then try to build it.
Okay.
These are all power-ups that can help you achieve this. So you don't need to restrict yourself to a very small solution to make it scalable. So you can think of bigger ideas,
So
basically.
how wild can we think?
Huh?
How wild can we think?
You can think as wild as possible. That's
So
the
can
fun
we
shot.
like
Yeah,
use the hot air balloon thingy only, but
yeah.
the cloth with which it is made is like the Spider-Man wala suit, okay?
Okay, sorry, repeat.
Is like the Spider-Man suit, which is
Latex.
it's not latex.
It's not.
It's
Yeah,
fiber.
okay, hot air balloon with Spider-Man
And it
costume,
will
okay.
have, it can transmit
Webs.
Yeah, not I didn't know. So the suit that Spider-Man has is fiber, which literally molds to his body, and it has all the this thing now,
Hmm.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
so maybe something like that fiber thing, which can transmit data also to other hot air balloons.
That's how the Project Loon was working. So Project Loon was also using these optic laser optics to send data between one hot air balloon to another. So they use that particular technology in this project Tara. Instead of using the hot air balloons, they then had different towers with these laser beams to send data between one another.
I also got a
Yes.
really good idea,
Sure.
and I think it could be feasible also.
Mhm.
It will solve the unequal speeds,
Okay.
but I'm not sure about the remote part. But for most part, it might solve unequal speeds.
Okay.
So the idea is if we can share our internet speeds, like we are using, all of us are using the mobiles, right? We all have different internet speeds. Suppose we are not just transmitting the data, just the internet part, and it's very secured on the outset.
Hmm.
So suppose if I'm using at 10 Mbps and you are using at 30 Mbps, and someone is using at 5. So if we belong to the same same organization, or if you are using the same company, then we can share our internet connection.
No,
What's
but
a hotspot then?
Huh?
Same as
Ho-
hotspot.
so hotspot is kind of different. So what I mean is, in hotspot's case, it's actually doing for your mobile. I'm saying from the perspective of
yeah, I get your point where you are coming from, but that will be a problem if there is a bandwidth issue. If there are 100 people using a particular internet source, and if there is a congestion because of those 100 people, then there is a bandwidth constraint. And that only happens if there is a demand for all of those people to use that internet. In which case, you just have to try to employ more towers to split that bandwidth loss.
I think he's talking about creating a local area network sort of thing using each other's internet connection.
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
We can have super networks. So what can be done is one router can have 5 network ka speed. Like, for example, one router who has all the power of all the service providers. So anyone that is near to me, that speed I can use, which is the fastest.
Yes, this is a better idea.
So basically the thing here is right
Oh yeah,
now.
this one I really like.
So what can happen here is, like for example, I have all the service provider in the world right now at my home. I can mix anything that is possible.
Why would the companies agree?
Why not? Like, to be honest, it's just like I am just providing you the one machine where everything can be fitted in. Improve your network, guys, so that the user might get benefit out of it.
No, I didn't understand the idea.
What I'm saying is one modem, okay, with all service provider inside one modem. Anyone who is faster wins the race will get charged.
It was like a payments gateway.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Razorpay. Yeah, why not? Why the hell every power should be in all the service providers' hand? You know what happened with
But how?
let me
How?
complete
How?
first.
Okay.
This is a very big problem in US. There are two players, AT&T and Verizon. These are the two players in US that are just deriving the whole market in US right now. Users have got frustrated because I was working very closely with these providers when I was working after engineering, and I have seen this. They are like literally making fuss out of it, man. There have been
Yeah,
users
the
who have
duopolies.
used both. Yeah, that's a duopoly game that happens there, and no one enters into each other's bracket, man.
Yes.
They have their own.
That is very common.
Yeah,
In fact, in India
here also you have just Jio and Airtel, but how
Yes.
are we solving the problem of
Yeah, we are.
improving the
Also,
network
I have a
connectivity?
We
counter
are.
question to that. So nowadays, Jio and Airtel and all these things, they are not just providing internet. They are providing an integrated service. One package,
Entertainment.
I get everything included.
Agreed.
So if you do this thing, so isn't it a hassle for consumer? Because am I using Jio ka TV wala set top box? So if I take Airtel,
Agreed.
Nah.
Why not?
No. Now I will have
If that's
Jio
your
yeah.
problem.
and
So
Airtel.
I'll tell you,
And
I'm
then
very loyal to Airtel because I have everything of Airtel. My set top box is Airtel, my landline is Airtel, my mobile connections are Airtel.
So why not we make a company, okay, which give you two solutions. Okay, so anyways, it's a system where apps are very active right now nowadays. Okay. Anyways, dual SIM is also working like that, right? Whichever you love the most right now, I do so many times. Change my network, idea of network
That
आ रहा
is
है कि नहीं?
okay.
but
Then I
how
change
is
the
it
network.
solving the problem
But if we
statement?
talk
It is
about,
now.
but
What did
Pratik,
you
if we
say?
talk about set top box
Unequal
and everything,
distribution of network.
See, this is all for places where the network connectivity is huge, right? So we are talking about rural areas where the network connectivity is low, and you can't expect everyone to have dual SIM, for an example, or multiple networks in a single area. Because in some, sorry, so in some places, let's say Vodafone alone might work. In some places, only Airtel would work.
That's good now. Then
So
some people might like just imagine I will fight for a like how what happens in elections.
mm,
You know that this is particular area that will give you benefits in future. I'll invest in that. That is how elections work. Right now, if you see BJP, so let's not take any name of
Let's not get into
party.
politics.
So I know that tomorrow, right now, the Hindu population for XYZ place is high. So this is the right time to go there and market your agenda. Same thing. Why don't I like to be honest? There's a propaganda of every company behind every product they launch.
right.
So if I'm talking about internet, definitely like she mentioned, everyone is trying to sell the integrated services, right? What I'm trying to say here is if I'm making a modem which has n number of service providers, I can also make an app in my TV which has n number of applications into it. So why not? Like that interface can also be possible, right? I can access Geo TV for a while and then I can go to Vodafone
so
TV.
now basically, just understanding,
Mhm.
you are making your own integrated services.
Service providers will not agree
You
to
are
it.
becoming your own integrated service, but whosoever service providers network is coming more, मतलब ज़्यादा, you users will paying automatically to that service provider, is it?
No, so we'll be aggregator of all these service providers.
यही तो बोला मैंने.
So that's what I'm trying to say. So
Okay.
anyone who is using, for example, 2 GB of
Because right now the
Vodafone,
problem is कि interface, if you really see, interface of Airtel will be different from interface of Jio. So I'm not talking about us, but if I'm talking about our generation higher, they still use TV, they still use set-top box and everything.
agreed.
Right? So it will be very difficult for me to switch from Airtel to Jio because interface and channel numbers are, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but they are different for each of these things. I would not want to go for that. If you are providing something, जिसके अंदर I am getting same channels, but only the like internet speed differs, and whoever is providing better internet speed, money goes to that company. Then it makes sense to me.
So why would I then have one like I'm just talking from an angle where integration is easy. So that's a very like to be honest. Anyways, okay.
I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are right in your
So why
own
not we
way.
create a marketplace for it? No, let's have a marketplace where every service provider is fighting on their own bandwidths. If my network is good in that particular area, because I have always seen this.
Yes.
The power is in the service provider's hand.
Yes.
In case of telecom, it's definitely like that.
Bro, I feel we are digressing more from the problem statement of improving the network connectivity for a particular user, right? So here, all you're doing is just aggregating different multiple providers and taking the best out of whatever is there. But again, go to a rural area where maybe in one place only one network is available. In
So
your
there's no
perspective,
problem only in that. So that person will only
Yeah.
get everything. Because
To be honest, tell me one thing. When Swiggy and Zomato were fighting, who was benefiting the most?
the consumers will benefit.
What? If Airtel, Jio, and Vodafone are fighting for one village, who will be benefiting the more?
Also, I think the problem statement did not mention like rural. I mean, we can even take tier 3, tier 4 cities for that matter, no? Like, we can limit it for the purpose of our
No, it
discussion.
said that there is an imbalance in network connectivity from different areas. Not sure.
No, but tell me one thing. Why don't we like? This is open question. I'm not able to figure out. Why don't we have unified SIM?
Unified SIM.
Yeah.
What do you mean by unified SIM?
One SIM for
Whichever,
anything, everything.
It used to be na MTNL, BSNL. Didn't work out really.
That is not actually. It is separate government-owned thing, but
I think government has to come into the picture. I think it can be done. I think it's totally
Why?
possible.
Like before these guys came in, there used to be MTNL, BSNL.
Because it has an ID, and if you have assigned an ID,
Ooh, Aadhaar linked unified SIM. How cute.
No, what I'm talking. What
yeah,
I'm
I mean,
trying to say is,
it can do so much better.
no, that's what I'm trying to understand. Like, why don't we have one SIM in my phone that is unified, which has all the service provider in it. So, and there would be me as an aggregator,
Yes.
and I'm using the same technique or nodal thing that we are doing right now. Oh wow, it came from wired to wireless and now into my phone. Okay, so what I'm trying to derive is that I have a unified SIM which has all the service providers. I'll be aggregating it for my users' benefit.
okay.
So what I'll be doing is I am anyways having all the service providers ka access. Okay, I have all the access to all the service provider possible there. I'll be paying them according to my convenience that
Okay.
I have used this much of data,
Okay.
so I'll be paying you for this much.
I love this idea. So let me build on top of this. So let's just say we are that one single SIM provider, which will aggregate data from all of these Airtel, Jio, whatever is there, right? And then here is where I feel blockchain would be a very good idea in terms of where you are using how much data. Let's say you have 10 Mbps of speed. In this case, you are not restricted to a certain speed requirement, right? So based on how you are using, I can from which network you are using, I can store that particular data, and based on that consumption, I can charge this user and split between different networks on how you have used this particular data.
Post.
Huh?
Nice.
Yeah, it's
It's
yeah, it's more like a postpaid. After you have used, I can't predict before you use, right? So based on how you use, after that I can get that amount of data. We can have different sessions, maybe I'm not sure, or maybe a 1 month interval. So based on how much totally how much you have used and how much bandwidth you have consumed, I will get a total amount from you, and then I will split this into different providers between from BSNL how much you use. So I will give that amount to BSNL. From at Airtel how much ever I've used, I'll give it to Airtel, and from Jio how much ever I've used, I'll give it to Airtel, Jio.
yeah, I'll give it, and instead of you giving everywhere, we as unified.
We are the unified.
Yeah.
The user will pay us, and we will split it and give it
to
among
them.
different.
Simple.
Yeah.
And we'll tell them, bro. So we'll be having a separate session with them, and we'll be saying, bro, improve your service, man. You're getting paid less. So,
We will charge consultation fees for that.
that's how business model will come. Consultation fees you can write there in your revenue stream.
Sure. So let's try to stick this as the idea.
Yeah, I
Let's,
feel this is amazing idea.
Let's
Let's start a
start
startup
here.
list.
Yes.
So who will be our key partners in
All the service providers, Airtel, Jio, Vodafone, Hutch Nita. So, what other things are there? Docomo not there. All died, kya?
No one survived the crash.
Oh my god.
What about Jio?
Oh my fingers. Adani. Oh, I can see Adani now. Sorry for your ex company.
No, it's fine.
Hey, would you like to have an integration with us, Razorpay?
Cool. So our key partners are going to be internet service providers,
Definitely.
right?
Let's name them, no?
No,
Okay.
we are having a global network. So in this case, we are having Airtel or Jio. In US case, we will have AT&T,
But then we need
Verizon.
to tie up with the governments also.
Yes, but why would we have to tie
Yeah,
with
we don't have to
governments?
tie with government.
We are a private company.
Every country will have different norm for telecommunication.
No, no, no.
I mean,
Yeah, no, she's talking like
The
you're talking.
norms, those are all legal stuff, right? So, isn't that separate? Would that affect the business? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
You
I'm
are
just thinking.
the
No,
I
I
have
think,
done
yeah.
nothing. And
okay.
yeah.
I think we'll be having this.
Key
There
partners
are
you're talking, right?
Yeah.
These are the partners.
Manufacturers.
That will
Yeah,
come under.
I see a lot of resistance in this.
Semiconductor providers.
Yeah,
Because
we are
providers
a
would have no
unifier,
more
right?
control
So
over the users.
So that's what I'm trying to bridge.
we are an easy
You are trying
provider,
to do
right?
that, but
Tell me one thing.
you
when-
need really good power. For
I
this.
feel the same thing happened for fintech payment gateways, right?
I think same
That
thing
is
happened
how
with
it
Uber.
works.
Right, the power was in Autowalas. Who has power now? Users. So that is where everywhere marketplace turns out to be a very
A
different
lot of
thing.
startups are coming with the same
Just
idea.
one question I have: are we manufacturing the SIM or we are?
Yes, we have to manufacture the SIM, right? Because
Those
we have to
then
aggregate.
all the
So
manufacturers,
manufacturers.
I don't know, semiconductors or chip manufacturing companies, whatever there are.
Chip manufacture, SIM manufacturing companies.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they make the chip now, which is there in the SIM.
But the SIM entirely together has to be assembled anyway. So when I say SIM, the semiconductor will
That's why I
come.
ask you: are we manufacturing or are we getting it
No,
manufactured
we
from
are
somewhere?
manufacturing the SIM. Inside SIM, there are multiple components.
So that's what I. That's why I said
Yeah,
chip
so SIM manufacturing, yes.
For
Okay.
the initial promotions, you could even partner with like these agencies that, give out agents who can promote.
And then payment gateways, obviously.
We'll partner with
Payment gateways, blockchain network.
I
So-
think the red recordings.
No, it's going on. So key partners here.
I think mobile phones, key partners.
Yeah.
Because if I'm having a Apple
Support.
why not support? Why don't we just partner with them for using our service? Like Jio has a collaboration with Apple.
Okay.
So what they does is, do you know about CDMA thing?
Uh-huh.
What does they do? They do the same way, right? You take my phone,
Yeah.
you don't have to pay now. Because you have already.
My understanding of CDMA is different. I went to electronics. What is CDMA?
Yeah. So what I'm not explaining you the CDMA or GSM. I'm just explaining you that if, for example, I have a phone, I can only use your unified SIM in that, not Airtel ka standalone chip in it. So what I'm doing here is basically partnering with a mobile phone so that I get a overall experience of things. Right now I can access the
Those
same thing
Jio
happens
phones.
with Amazon, right? I can sell only on Amazon. I don't want to sell on Flipkart. What happens there? Same thing.
Same thing.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm partnering with OnePlus so that everyone takes OnePlus more and they'll also pay us, right? For doing that. So initially that can be a strategy.
There is a
where-
promotional
Promotional,
strategy
yeah.
that
With
can
the
be,
affordable.
that we
yeah,
can
affordable somehow way so that if we can position it somehow the other
Let's
way.
go there slowly, but in this case, who will be
So
our
Apple people will be in the disadvantage again now.
No, how are they in
why?
disadvantage?
It
They
depends on
only
where
use,
we are, who we are collaborating.
they anyway use one SIM, right? So it's
Yeah.
good in a
No,
way.
actually, now they have two SIMs in
eSIM.
Yeah. So what we are discussing is
So the key partners, coming back to the
Oh,
key
we can have
partners.
eSIMs, so we don't even need like a SIM as a proper manufacturer.
Actually, yeah, now the eSIM is very.
But you would need something to receive the signals.
No,
I
that
don't know
technology
how
stack
eSIMs
can be
work,
built,
but-
but how can eSIMs be used in this case?
eSIMs.
eSIMs are just
I
IDs.
don't
I think it can be
have
done.
much
It's
idea
totally
about
possible.
Yeah, like even in the Apple Watch, we use eSIM only, na.
What is an eSIM? Sorry, I'm not
So
sure.
you just put your credentials. I have a SIM card. Whatever my credentials are there in that SIM card,
Okay.
you just put that and you get the network.
Like I don't physically.
You
own
don't have to
that,
put in the
so-
SIM
SIM.
physically.
Yeah.
So I think it will share it from the mobile.
Yeah, it has to share from some other device.
No,
Some
so
source-
like Apple phone has two SIMs, one normal SIM and the other is the eSIM.
Like this has only one.
I
slot.
don't know, maybe eSIM takes something from the other SIM. That I don't know, but the eSIM which is there, you just add your credentials into it and you have two working SIMs then. You are not using other SIM physically at all.
I'm not sure.
And like if my phone is switched off and my watch, like I used to go cycling, so I used to go only wearing my watch. My phone was nowhere around me.
Yeah, I think this
Okay.
is the
And it only had eSIM. So
thing that you're proposing is basically the augmentation of what we are trying to do right now. No?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
think from an angle. Let's push it for the next V2.
okay, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Guys.
Yeah, go for V2. Let's not discuss everything today. Let's
Yeah,
leave
I-
something for another round.
But it's an amazing idea. I think,
But I feel that would be the more sustainable way at a later point in stage, right? Developing an eSIM.
yeah, manufacturing sim is such a old school thing.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll have for V2 definitely, Charu.
Yeah, we are.
So,
using
for
the right thing.
whichever is feasible, let's not constrain ourselves to whether we'll have a SIM card or maybe we'll have an eSIM. At this stage, we are not sure. Maybe eSIM is a more easier way of maybe combining multiple networks. We don't know, but whatever works, right?
Okay.
So, SIM manufacturing companies. Other than that, is there any other key partners that we might need?
I think mobile phones. Yeah, I truly believe there
Okay.
should be mobile phones.
Mobile phone manufacturers or
Mobile phones, yeah, manufacturers only. It's a key partner, and
okay.
I think that is associated.
Cool. Let's try to hold on key partners. What about our key activities? What will be our next steps? 2, 3 next steps. Immediately, what are we going to do?
Implementation wise, right?
Yeah. Let's say once we develop the technology, one is
Marketplace. We'll create a marketplace.
so there are multiple things that comes into picture here, right? So one is the blockchain implementation part, which will record how much you are using from which network,
And we
then
also
that
build
we
a
have to
smart
split it.
contract on it when basically
Hmm.
when I have to use idea, when I have to use this, there's
yeah.
a smart contract created, and every time that has been done, there would be proper line items, and then we'll be allocating it. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yes, blockchain is one.
So block technology implementation. Can I put it as a common
Yeah, we can.
technology implementation? In key partners, since blockchain comes into picture, do we have any additional key partner?
I don't think we have any. We have
Will
to
blockchain
partner
councils be coming into as a key partner?
council.
Or whichever blockchain network that we are using, right? If we are using Ethereum as as our base blockchain network, then that supporting infrastructure and such needs to be built, right?
Yeah, we can add it.
So blockchain.
By the time we implement this, even Ethereum will be sustainable.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we can write Ethereum.
Blockchain what?
Guys,
Infrastructure.
sorry to interrupt. I have to go now. I have a meeting.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure. Thanks, Akshay.
Bye.
Customer segments.
So key, okay, let's finish customer segments and then we'll revisit key activities, right? So yeah,
Customer segment. I feel the people who are really business people, but they don't want to have lag in their internet. But anyway, daily activities they need to carry out with the phone when they are not involved.
okay.
Second,
I think PGs and all of these, like the common users.
Who uses? Okay, now the major target segment is rural people, right? Because that's where we are.
yeah, that's also
That's the problem statement that we are trying to solve, right? Increasing the network connectivity or speed in the rural areas.
Yes, yeah.
So then, so that entire segment becomes a target.
It's also India's,
Villagers.
I mean, youth, basically.
Youth. Nowadays, youth is very much agnostic about what
Rural.
network they are using.
What is this?
Network.
Rural.
Villagers.
It's not called villages, it's really-
Let's not
He said-
take names, yeah.
He seems- rural.
Bro. This is not socially acceptable.
Okay. People who lives in villages.
Rural, let's
Rural
population.
Population.
Oh, you were looking for a word for people.
Yeah, population.
Population.
Person.
No, rural population.
So, rural population, then youths, right? That will be
Rural pop.
okay.
School students.
School students. And to be honest,
Why school
hospitals.
So there are a lot of hostels also.
Hospitals.
Youths won't youths
Youth is
cover
not employ. Matlab,
Hospitals, man.
working.
Hospitals.
school students, can I say, because that's where need will be there, right? Mostly for accessing educational content. So schools.
All of these Doon schools and all of these schools don't have internet issues.
Nowadays,
They have
Woodstock, all of these.
Yeah, they will have everything else. Cool. Anything else are we missing out on?
I think hospitals.
Hospitals. Why would it matter in hospitals?
Why would it not?
Oh, what? Why not hospitals?
Everything is integrated online in every hospital now.
Yeah.
Even whatever I report,
Emergency services.
yeah,
hospitals.
I mean everything.
Tourists.
Huh?
Travel agencies.
Tourists actually makes a lot of sense because we are integrating all these.
Yeah, tourists.
Nice pump.
Great,
Yeah.
Pankhuri.
Great. Executioners. Well, executioner.
Next, okay.
I think we have sorted out things. And also, I don't you think uh, offices in general, bro? Because, like,
Any online
Yeah.
business.
Business people.
no, but we're not talking business people, I'm talking offices in general, infrastructure wise. Right now, Airtel is down. Oh, lost to the business, man. No. Airtel is down, we have Geo for you guys.
And that's business. That's every business.
Hey, business people are different.
I'm talking about
that
business
is-
for like CEOs and all.
This
They
is
will
more
like-
on B2C. But then, are you
No,
going
I
to be
think
B2C or
it's
B2B?
all the businesses. I feel all the business, not just offices, all the business.
So there are two products that we are selling right now. One is Unified SIM, another is Unified Modem.
Oh, acha, that also we are selling.
Yeah, that's the augmentation.
Unified SIM for phones, unified modems for homes.
B2B.
You know what?
offices.
Agri-tech businesses, agri-tech platforms also need internet, no?
That all comes under
Rural population.
Actually, nowadays farmers also use a lot.
I think we are sorted with
Yeah,
segments.
let's
Let's
try
move
to
on.
move
We
on
are going
to,
into rabbit hole discussion.
yeah. How often will you interact with your customer?
Monthly. Oh, daily, because you need to check how much are they consuming the data, no?
Hmm.
Every second interaction happens.
But
To our
how
smart
often will
contacts.
we be charging them?
Monthly.
Monthly, right? So that's how frequently we'll be speaking to our customers.
Monthly. But I don't think that is monthly interaction.
Daily
Daily
interaction because you
interaction. Like it depends. Because if for example he is in any problem then
So interaction will depend on two things, right? One is as a marketing activity or trying to reach out to the customer, and two is as a product, maybe in terms of main service and maintenance, you're trying to reach out to the customer
daily.
daily.
Yeah, bi-weekly though.
Like you need to inform the customer, like assuming that they've subscribed to your SIM, you need to inform them, no? You've consumed this much, you are left with
That
this
is just an app. For that, you
Oh,
will
that
not
you-
be interacting with your
But
customer.
it's some interaction, digital
Yeah,
interaction.
like you're sending some kind of a message, no?
But then it will not be daily interaction, right? For
So-
every
so when
session
you-
that you no
Like Geo and all, I've noticed that they send these messages at the end of every day.
Yeah, I think daily. Daily.
only if the usage crosses Geo sends messages, right? Or otherwise Geo don't send.
Yeah, this much left also they send. 50% consume.
50%
Yeah,
consume.
yeah.
After you cross 50%, they send a message.
15
After you
yeah.
cross 90%.
Depends you cases by cases. I think that is the answer for this.
No, that is one sort of interaction. The major interaction is the user paying monthly bills, right?
Yeah, you can write monthly.
Is that fine, you guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Good with
Monthly.
me.
Great channel.
Monthly, I
What?
think. Then channels, right?
Yeah. So, what all channels will you be using to reach your customer?
Internet?
Agents. I mean, physical interaction agents.
Nowadays, yeah. To be
I mean,
honest,
for
all grocery
telecoms.
shops. Grocery shops.
Grocery shops.
That's how usually people access the
See, think of different segments, right? Rural population. How will you
Grocery
get
shop.
rural
Grocery
population?
There's always a grocery shop. Anyways, people go there, have BD, and then get a sip. Simple.
Okay.
Bro, to be honest, I have spent a lot of time in villages. So I have seen that it's very accessible.
Kirana stores are easy.
Yeah, that's what Kirana
Yeah,
is.
ठीक है. That is for rural
Not the
population.
pan wala khokas then.
Yeah, say pan wala khokka.
Grocery shops. Let's try to be professional.
No, but to be honest, it's different. No? Kirana shops are still different than pan shops. I
Tea
think
stalls, right? Tea stalls.
Tea stalls, yeah, very like.
It's
Tapri don't write anything else before. But
It's
let's be critical on khokha.
What is coca?
Box.
What?
Channels, then depending on what segment we are targeting, obviously
So
not
for
focus
business
for
people,
business people.
yeah, for business people, what kind of
kiosk. Khoka is a kiosk.
Business people.
I feel you need some
Internet and
media.
social media marketing.
Why not public transport? Why not
LinkedIn.
public transport?
LinkedIn. LinkedIn is social media.
social
But
media.
rural, if you're talking about rural,
I
why
don't
not
know,
Different
public
segments you will
transport?
use different
Different
channels.
channels.
Alright,
We're talking, we're still like in
For-
the rural segment itself. No?
but still, why not public transport like Uber or metro?
Yeah. Sorry.
Metro
Like-
is actually
Metro guys.
Like I have seen metro and
Yeah, to be honest, channels are all the channels that we think of are gonna be used for SIM cards.
I feel agents like physical interaction still plays a very key role. Like
Okay.
you know when Jio launched,
My
yeah.
laptop
it's,
is misbehaving. So,
oh, it's fine.
sorry.
then metros or
Public transport, right? Easy.
public gathering areas. Can I say?
Yeah. Public gathering areas and all these.
So that will include malls, metros, or whatever, wherever.
Pamphlets.
Channels.
That is also channel, no?
I mean, do we really
Newspaper.
sell pamphlets
Sorry.
these days?
Newspaper.
I mean,
No, in that way, you will be using pamphlets in public gathering areas.
Cool.
So,
oh, I thought you were doing billboards.
Billboards also.
yeah, billboards. So channels will include areas or the medium through which we are
Medium.
reaching.
It's a medium.
It's a medium.
That's the
right?
reason I
But
read
public gathering area is not a medium.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
In that way,
Newspaper,
then
pamphlets.
tea stalls is also not a medium. Right?
But you can as a paint
It's a
on the tea stall,
distribution
na?
channel, no, but you can have a product, physical product in that channel.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Grocery shops also, then it makes sense. Then even in public gathering areas, you can have
Kiosks.
seen,
Yeah, we can make sense. Key propositions.
Kiosks.
Let's make.
um, kiosks. Where do I put kiosks?
I think these are enough for now.
Yeah, I feel somehow most of the channels will be covered.
Okay. Cool. So what will be our key proposition?
Key proposition that
Single SIM with which.
just like
What are the two problems that we are trying to solve? One is enough bandwidth, faster internet.
I think
in
value
areas.
proposition is fast internet.
All
Second, we are like, to be honest, it's a marketplace.
We are more like a mediator who
Aggregator of SIM cards.
SIM cards.
Yeah, things like that.
But that will not be our proposition, right? What is our proposition?
Faster
fast
internet
internet,
only,
nothing
na?
else.
Nothing
Faster
else, yeah.
Fast internet. We are trying to
Some
do
catchy thing. Faster internet at what?
fast internet.
Unified speed of internet.
Yeah, unified speed.
I feel always is like the term because so
Anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, good idea.
and
Everywhere,
makes
anywhere.
sense.
Always for you.
Keep all those thoughts in mind. You have to frame the pitch.
What?
Elevate.
Today?
Under 2 minutes. That's all you have.
Okay, I can pitch it right now.
Okay. Key activities.
Yeah, I think we are sorted
Marketing.
with key activities.
Marketing is all about implementation. After that,
What's key resources?
setting up.
What's the difference between key partners and key resources?
There's a difference. Key partners is basically with whom we collaborate and try to bring on the product. Key activities are what implementation.
No, I'm asking
stages.
resources and partners. Key resources and
That's
key
what I'm
partners.
saying.
You said key activities.
What resources do you need to make your idea work? In this case, resource will be the manufacturing plants.
Because that we wrote in key
plants.
partners also.
No, so that is manufacturing
We are giving to
company.
somebody to make it for us.
In this
It's
case,
called job work. Okay.
Key resources are people basically.
setting up
that we use.
kiosks to marketing.
Go ahead.
People, process, legal evidence.
Give me some idea, setting up kiosks for.
But I don't think we should go in that manner. It's a business model, yeah. We never go in
Key
that
activities is more like a GTM, right? How we are going to.
No, so basically, whenever we are creating any of the business models, we don't go into the kiosk level of things.
Okay.
It's a 30,000 feet view that we are just looking at how
Okay, yeah,
business
makes sense.
is done.
Makes sense.
That's the reason we
Product
never-
promotion, can I say?
Like just promotions.
Promotional activities.
Segmentation.
That we already did. I think key resources. Because I think these are the plan of action.
Okay. Key resources. What resources do you need to make your idea work? Experts in technology experts, I would generally put because it involves blockchain, it involves
Supply chain management.
key technology experts. Then what else?
Key resources.
Don't we need supply? Acha, but if we are supply
Phones
chain.
and modems.
Why do we need phones and modem? Acha, modems we do, but why do we need phones?
Manufacturing we need for modems at least. For our partnership with modem making company.
That has already come under key partners, right?
That's what I was asking you at that time.
So that comes under key partners, but resources in this case is going to be technology experts who will help implementing this. And other than that, we will also
Assembly
need
partners can also be there. We are not getting.
yes, assembly team.
I'm just saying. Like,
It is needed actually.
Yeah.
Assembly team,
I know.
and then marketing team.
So basically we need a team.
What?
Basically we need a team.
Administration. Whole
Or
administration.
is it going more generalistic?
No, I think it should be like over your things. It's never like going deeper and like to be honest, it gives you an idea, flavor of what we are doing.
Okay. Anything else I should
No,
add?
I think it's all about people and key resources that we have written.
Finance management profession.
I think
बेवकूफ होते हैं वो लोग.
key resources we don't need more.
ठीक है. Cool. Cost structure. How much are you planning to spend on the product development and
Like so key
marketing?
resources mein we only written people. We need so much more, no?
Yeah, we need everything in future, I guess.
Okay.
So let's start with cost structure. First and foremost, I think we need to manufacture these SIMs. Per SIM cost will definitely require. So that is cost that we incur.
So we have $1 million. How much are you going to spend for marketing, and how much are you going to spend for product development?
No, here we don't do calculations. Never. We just note down all the costs that we are going to incur and what our revenue will incur. Khatam.
Because it's revenue stream. So
Not
where are we getting
yeah,
the
we
At
don't-
least that's what we did when we made it.
That's how you should do it. We never calculate. And unit economics wise, it will boil down somehow.
Got it. So what do you put in cost structure in this case?
SIM cards?
SIM card, what?
SIM cards.
SIM card
Physical
manufacturing?
SIM card. Yeah, like SIM cards, this physical entry that for one SIM card, how much cost you will incur.
Promotion would be the other cost.
Yeah, promotion
big
is another
cost.
cost. SIM card, promotions.
Customer acquisition can we write?
So that comes under promotions.
Promotions
Right?
only.
Yeah.
I think the partnership fees that we pay or something of that sort.
No, that's a revenue stream.
No.
The one that we pay to
Acha, we
experts
pay.
for research.
Yeah.
So we have to pay
to
these.
mobile phone.
Yeah, to our partners. Partner fees.
No, don't write it partner fees.
Then,
Do we say?
No, it's internet ISP fees.
Yeah. that's a cost. Soft development fees.
That can be there. Like partner fees is sounding thoda.
Development fees.
Partnership fees. It sounds so
Yeah,
wrong.
like suppose
Maybe there is a.
are we giving
better
something
term
to
it.
Jio and Airtel, or
Yeah,
are we taking from them?
No, actually, we need not give anything to them. No?
It
It's
is
more
like
like
a
postpaid,
give and take sort of thing. They are also getting something out
Yeah,
of it. We
it's
are
not
also
a
getting
postpaid,
something out of it.
No, we are not getting them because of this, right?
What do you mean?
We obviously we have to give something,
Mhm.
but just imagine. I don't think it's a give and take relationship.
Yeah, that's what I don't think we need to have a partnership fee.
I'm talking not from partnership that point of view. Like for example, we are partnering with a number of manufacturers and also
You can write direct service cost also instead of partner fees because
direct cost.
but that is SIM card also. Sorry.
Then it's like cost only. So what we can do is, what all things did you write?
SIM card, promotions.
SIM card promotions is one. Then
Should I put SIM card
server fees,
manufacturing?
bro.
No,
server.
वही तो बोल रहे थे मैं direct services.
Server.
Why do we need a server?
Achha, where will you host the app? Where will you host this whole network that we're talking about, blockchain and all? It's in the air or what?
Servers you need. It's right.
Where will we
But
host?
This will become, when we talk of blockchain, then it becomes more decentralized, right?
Agreed,
In the
but-
user's phone.
But still, I need to have a track of what exactly you're using right now.
Okay.
Yes, to get the transparency at least for the user. Server, we need an app development. Obviously, we need to develop an app, so that also we need money. Salaries.
Employee what?
Salaries, I'm not saying
Employee salaries.
just salaries.
Give some definition.
Okay, employee salaries. We can also write.
Why are we not just writing it administration expense?
Okay.
That's why we need.
I mean that will take care of everything.
Agreed.
I'm
I
sorry.
know.
That's why we are
Finance.
having you, Charu.
That's the reason.
Oh
man.
God.
And infrastructure.
What infrastructure?
You need infrastructure. Where will you sit?
Factory.
And
The infrastructure is provided by these existing internet providers, right? So we are
not that
Office
infrastructure.
space. Office space.
real estate. Should I say?
No infrastructure.
Factory.
Infrastructure is a very common term.
You can write office space only.
Yeah, office space.
Real estate.
Okay, real estate cost. Real estate cost. And just I think this much is fine.
Take care. Revenue stream.
Revenue stream most important is we'll be having commissions definitely.
Commissions term for
Because if you're selling it to the customer will pay a commission, no service fee for us.
Subscription fees.
Yeah, subscription fees. Same is commission.
मतलब मेरे को पता नहीं कि क्या बोलते हैं.
Subscription fees or commission. Anything you can write.
So there are two kind of revenue models that we can have, right? So one is depending on how much data he has used. If let's say I have to give the other companies $100, then I can charge this guy $105 every monthly as a monthly fees, and then I can get the ₹5 and get the 100.
That's what I'm saying. Commission, no. You are giving it something. You're taking ₹5 from Geo and selling it for 10. That's a commission, man. You're upselling.
Second, so that is one. Then second is SIM card selling.
Yeah, SIM card one time in like that is one time fee.
It's not a cost.
I think nowadays SIMs are free, bro. Let's not take that.
Yeah.
And also in cost, you should write KYC processors fee. जो भी लगती है उसके लिए. Nowadays it's a very big hassle.
You can actually also leverage the data you will be accumulating.
No. Blockchain.
Oh, okay.
Revenue streams, right? This is commission.
Yeah, on the mobile phone, that you mobile phone sellers that you're partnering with, you'll get some commission from that, no?
Yeah, once you have established that, after that you'll also charge them.
Charge the ISPs. So I would say commission from users and commission from ISPs.
Both the ends will charge and will earn so much.
I can almost smell the money.
Any others?
Revenue stream only.
I think that's it now.
No, but you should have more revenue stream than cost. Like I always think in that way.
See,
But
initially
how?
when we are,
Like if I have only one revenue stream, I will still have 10 sorts of cost for that, don't you think?
Agreed. That is distributed, but I most of the times try to think because I'll get a roadmap if I think more revenue streams.
Okay, think then.
So if you have a product, won't you have games and all of that on it?
this is not.
This
This is
is just
SIM
in
card,
internet service, I guess.
Yeah.
So you have an app,
App for just showing how much data you have
Data.
consumed and
Yeah, you can
storing
make
that
a-
data in a blockchain ledger, decentralized storage.
So you're not making use of those entertainment platforms.
When we use blockchains, again these gas fees are there, no, associated with these blockchains.
Also, do you guys remember like when I initially having an Airtel gave you 1 year ka subscription to Amazon Prime free, so tying up with OTT. Like I had 1 year ka free subscription on Amazon Prime because I was using Airtel.
I think overall this is
In this case, do we have blockchain gas fee? Because we will be using smart contracts, right? But it will be developed as a side chain to existing. No idea.
I don't think so. But I think we can talk to Bhavya for this and she can get somebody around.
Okay, sure. So let's try to conclude this. Finally, just last elevator pitch. I want to give.
Let's hear it from Patri.
We need an elevator pitch.
Elevator pitch on this.
Yeah. On
Go.
the solution.
Go Pratik. Rokade.
Okay. Should I start?
Sure. Let's try to first tell us what you're planning to do so that I will also type something.
You'll type?
Yeah.
Elevator pitch is typing or should I say something?
Whatever you say, I will type.
Okay, this is just writing thing. Okay, so anything, it's very easy. I thought you had to formulate and then think. So, in elevator pitch, it's a how like it depends. It's an elevator pitch and it has to be not
In under 30 seconds.
30 seconds, right? Yeah.
Sell this to your investors. Sell the.
Do you want to like record it or something?
It's already being recorded. Where is the? Okay.
It was not recording.
It's recording, but it was something.
So, have you been into a position where You have the recording.
This has been recording this entire.
Yeah, but will you be posting this recording, or will you be just writing this?
Both.
What?
Just tell now.
Okay.
You can do it, Pratik.
So we have an SIM card which can aggregate all of these mobile networks and have it in a single platform. And we have blockchain network or blockchain. Um,
I think
Start with
so.
market segment.
No, let's
like,
let's. I think let's start with problem. So have you been in a situation where we are trying to use your data, but you're not able to use it, and it's taking 50 seconds to just load a single page. At that time, I always get frustrated. Why I'm not able to use my internet when I'm paying upfront fee to the service providers?
Small suggestion. The problem statement that we have is internet imbalance or speed imbalance. Between the rural and the.
It's valid for everyone, right?
Let's try to focus on how we are solving this for the rural people also. No? That component will be very important. You are focusing more towards the business people who are present in a urban city who will be using and who are not.
Yeah, but to be honest,
I thought it was people agnostic.
I feel it will start from there and then it will go to the rural areas, or else it will not be possible. Because if you start from rural, it will not get into this zone. Because in rural, you have to educate them from the internet point of view and everything, right? But already, if there are early adopters, who are the early adopters in your case? These are people who are already using it. It's an efficient way of using internet, right? So this is how any adoption happens. First, Amazon doesn't start their business in villages, right? It start in the cities where everything is possible. Then they grow it to the villages. Tier 2, tier 3 is always like it always boils down when the adoption in the at least what we can say more tech driven backgrounds start from there and then it goes there. I guess.
TK, you're adapting the pitch towards that, I get it. But when I'm proposing a solution for this as a problem, for internet speed imbalance in rural areas as the problem, how my solution is going to solve it? How will you propose that as a
So the extension would be like, for example, right now, if the power, if you talk from that angle, the power of internet is in the hands of these big companies like Jio and Airtel. It is not democratic in some or the other way. The power should not be in the hands of companies, but it should be democratized in the hands of people. So what I'm trying to derive here is, if people get access to internet, it is a win-win situation for both the companies and the users. Cause somehow everyone would love to be part of that revolution where everyone is accessing the internet, right? So that's how we will penetrate into villages very easily.
Charu, you have any inputs?
It was perfect.
Okay, thank you.
What if power of internet's in the hands of big institutions, but what if we can democratize
the way how we use internet?
Actually, I feel that we can simultaneously imply it in rural as well as urban areas.
Yeah.
There will be, and rural areas will not say no to this. This is just value addition for them. They are anyways paying to all the services.
I'm just talking from adoption point of view.
I'm just saying कि it can be simultaneously.
Yeah, simultaneously.
used
Yeah,
for both.
you can write simultaneously.
Let's not even go there. So power of internet is in the hands of big institutions. Big institutions or big
Companies right now, I think companies are
big internet service providers.
Yeah.
Right? What if What if we can democratize?
It's on that team.
Yeah, we are done.
Right, yeah.
Internet
We're
service
done, we're
provider
done.
is a monopolistic industry. You should write that actually. It is a monopolistic thing.
What? It's not monopolistic. What
It
do you call
is.
it?
I mean,
It's a
Monopolistic is when only two,
two,
three
three, yeah. It's
players are there.
Monopolistic is only one.
That is
player.
monopoly.
Monopoly.
That is monopoly.
monopolistic is different.
Monopolistic is where 2, 3 people players are there and they are holding
The whole market. Like
whole
for
market.
example, airlines. It's a monopolistic
Yeah.
market. Not a single player is driving it. It's a whole sector that is.
Yeah, and generally they have this consortium thing going on. Everybody stays out of everybody's business. Generally, there's a sort of understanding. Matlab,
Economics.
How do we frame this in a sentence, Charu? Very great point, but I want this to be
I
framed
just
in a
told you,
sentence.
there's a
Monopolistic market, yeah.
What is a monopolistic market?
You
That's
don't
what
have
we
to
did.
explain it. Why?
Yeah,
Why would I
monopolistic
explain
market
it
is
in an elevator
self-explanatory.
speech?
Yeah.
A person
What
who
is?
I'm giving
No,
you.
I'm not asking what is monopolistic market. I'm saying internet is in the monopolistic market.
No.
Or,
This is in general telecommunication is an
that's what I'm
it's
asking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Telecommunication.
Can you like mention ki like all of these companies are separately trying to capture markets and they're still only able to capture say 70% of the entire market. So maybe
It's an
through our this thing they'll be able to capture more.
Yeah, this
Like
is
the
also good.
remaining
A value prop
segment.
for companies. This is
Yeah.
amazing point. You should write this.
Market expansion. That's it.
Come on, Pratik. What if we can democratize?
Yeah, this is
The
right. I don't
power-
think elevator pitch should be that big. It should be two sentences.
We need to finish it now. It's half baked. Let's.
Finish only. I'm just telling from that angle that it's
You
a
should write
monopolistic
Pankhu's
market.
point.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should write Pankhu's
But
point. It makes sense.
yet they have only been able to capture, not able to capture a large chunk of population.
Right, 70%.
Not being able to capture में 70% नहीं आएगा.
Let's
More
just
than
say
30%.
they're not
More
able
than
to
30%.
capture.
More than 30%.
How do we know it is 30%?
That's why I said large chunk. But
Yeah,
if you
we'll
want
just
money,
we'll just keep it
I mean money.
generalistic
Yeah,
for
large.
now. If they've not been able to capture the entire market, in even in rural
don't write
areas.
entire, right? Not being able to capture a large chunk. That
Yeah,
makes it.
large chunk.
Despite being like a very basic.
Large chunk is the right word.
Capture.
Yeah.
What if we can democratize the power of the internet to the hands of the people? And make them pay before the internet they use.
Nee.
I feel it's not being related in a way. I don't feel a sync between.
Actually, I think if we're
Sync,
adding
no, it's
the
fine.
rural aspect to it,
I think you should add not pay only for the internet they use. It's the quality internet they use. It should be quality internet because we are focusing on the quality. Quality.
And what if we can democratize the power of the internet to the hands of the people and
And wait, I think what if we can democratize the power of the internet to the hands of people and revolutionize the way people use internet.
सही है. what is our solution?
Solution is we are a
Presenting
Unisim.
Unison is already there.
Eh? Unisim is there.
Was there something called Unison?
We'll call it our same as everything.
Unicell tha. company.
Uninor tha.
Unicell was a company that came somewhere.
Unison is something.
Let's not think
that
about the
is-
name, I guess, now. That doesn't.
Unsim कर देते.
Axim something.
Unsim. Unsim is nice name. Like Unzip,
Because
Unsim. Yeah.
What do you want to answer?
Are
so many
Unzip the
different
talents,
things,
yeah.
the normal.
Unsim.
Thanks guys for giving validation.
Yeah, so presenting Unsim, an aggregator.
One-stop platform or
It's not a platform.
uh,
A one-stop solution.
uh,
One-stop solution for
which aggregates all the
all
SIM
the
networks
ISPs in one
Panku don't
in one network,
Panku.
right?
into a single network.
Into a single network. That's the solution. Wow, I love some crisp small solution.
Which aggregates all the ISPs into a
That's not what he
single
said.
decentralized network. Since the chain is there.
Decentralized network and optimizing the way people use internet. It's an optimized way of how people use internet. No, that's a revolution the way people use the internet. I'm optimizing also, no?
Optimizing the usage of internet.
हाँ.
ये अक्षय की नोटबुक है जिसमें मैंने अपना नाम लिख दिया पीछे मदद से.
One-stop solution which aggregates all the ISPs into a single decentralized network. Into a single net. Is it a single decentralized network?
Yeah, it's a decentralized network because
And
everyone is
optimizing the usage of internet through machine learning.
I don't think it's a machine learning. It's blockchain already. Why you want to use so many technologies for unnecessary purpose?
So
I
we
don't
are
think
not
it is.
using machine learning,
No.
but we chose the technology. Machine learning.
Yeah, through machine learning. Yeah, you can write through machine learning. We will definitely use the machine learning. Machine learning is
मशीन लर्निंग
important.
का हर जगह यूज होता है.
Yeah, we'll use machine learning, bro. Because accordingly, I'll optimize on data which one I should use next. How will the
From which network I should use?
AIML
and accordingly I'll get to know कि exactly कौन से geography में which network uses better.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
Panku is taking serious over there. It's cute.
Thank you guys.
Alright, folks, that's it for this episode of Monday Morning Moonshots. Do like, share, and comment if you like this podcast. See you in the next one. Goodbye until then.